Blitz to the left of Whedon, who gets a shotgun snap. Hand off to Smith, up the middle. Breaks a tackle. Smith, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Cuts right to the 5. He's into the end zone. Pistols firing. Touchdown, Jeremy Smith. Mark it down. December 3rd, 2011. When the college football world changed and a new power emerged in north central Oklahoma.
Dave Unziker from the OSU Radio Network on the call. We've seen a lot of these Bedlam games. It seems like every time in Stillwater, Oklahoma State beats Oklahoma, you notice a theme that everybody's out on the field and the goalposts come down. That certainly was a fun one. There's no doubt about that. The quarterback, Brandon Whedon, on that team. One of the all-time OSU greats. I think most people would consider the best quarterback in Oklahoma State football history, Big 12 championship. So I had an opportunity to sit down with Brandon Whedon and kind of pick his brain about the rivalry, about that game, about Spencer Sanders, and I asked him about Bedlam because we're running out of these. Here's Brandon Whedon.
I think it's one of the best rivalries in college football. I mean, I've grown up right in the middle of it. It's been relatively lopsided. OU's kind of had the upper hand. But the last 12, 15 years, I mean, it's been pretty competitive. Mm-hmm. That game's usually late in the year and it kind of decides a lot of the results in the Big 12. And, we've been a little bit more competitive with them the last few years. So I think it's the rivalry, in my opinion, is probably as good as it's been in a long time. It's unfortunate to see that it might, come to a close. But, I've got a lot of respect for what they do, how they do it down there. And then obviously at Oklahoma State, I'm proud of what it's become.
I mean, you kind of brought it up. It's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
How disappointed, I mean, what is that going to look like? What's that going to feel like to players, fans, whatever? It's going to be different.
I think for the fans, it's going to be weird and it sucks. I mean, just as a college football fan, I'm a traditionalist, I'm a purist, and I don't think change is always good. In this case, it's all about the money, right? And so it's sad to see it happening, but it's kind of the state of college football.
You played them a few times. What do you remember about those games?
They were, my junior year was a shootout. I mean, it truly felt like it was going to be whoever had the ball last. I was talking to some guys earlier, and I forgot how crazy the last 5 or 6 minutes of that game was. I mean, it was just, back and forth, and we made plays on defense. They would have, short drives. We go back out and score. It was just it was a crazy game. Good football game, but it left a bad taste in my mouth. One of the worst feelings I've ever had was walking off that field that night. Not that we let one slip, but I felt like we had an opportunity to win. We didn't. It just, those 5 weeks leading up to that bowl game took forever. So, coming back to my senior year, that was on the forefront of my mind is I don't want that feeling again. And, that December 3rd, there was probably not a team in the country that was going to beat us that night. I mean, we played almost a perfect game on both sides of the ball. We got turnovers. We hit them in the mouth. We were way more physical than they were. And we left no doubt. I mean, they walked off. They pretty much shut it down about the middle part of the third quarter, and that was our goal, right? We had the slip up at Iowa State. We weren't happy. We knew that in order to get to where we wanted to go and play for a national championship, we had to go in there and take care of business, kind of like we did. And I thought it might be enough to get us over the hump, but came up just short. But it was that night was. That was probably one of the best feelings I've ever had walking off the field was that night, those goalposts coming down and the fans on the field. I wish I could bottle it up. That was about as fun as any atmosphere, any game I've ever been a part of.
I'll ask you about quarterbacks. Sanders, as his career kind of coming to an end, where is he on the pantheon of OSU quarterbacks? I mean, I think for me, it's like you and Mason and Mike and Zach, somewhere in there. I mean, where is Spencer Sanders?
Yeah, I think to his credit, I think he's gotten better every year. He's played a lot of snaps now. I don't know how many starts he has. I mean, he's got
it's like 45.
Probably twice as many as I have, and so he's developed. He knows his game. He's learned to use his tools and what he's good at, and try not to do things he maybe can't do. And I think that's a credit to coaching. I think that's a credit to him growing as a player. I mean, he's up there. I mean, I'm sure he'll hold, if not every record, majority of records. I mean, not only because he's got a lot of starts, because he's been very productive. So it's been fun to watch him kind of grow. And his first year on campus, highly touted guy, young player, and he tried to do some of those things he did in high school that you can't get away with in college football, and thankfully for Oklahoma State, he learned, and that's saying something. That's tough when you're a young player, and you may not have the success you've had. Sometimes it's hard to get that confidence back to where it needs to be. But now I've got a lot, excuse me, I got a lot of respect for him. I spent some time with him on Monday night.
Did you?
And I know him pretty well, but it was cool to kind of interact and just understand, see what kind of a guy he is. And he's a great guy, good leader. I think leadership, he's come a long way too. If you talk to the coaches and those guys, he's really become a little bit more vocal. He's not a vocal guy, but he's become a better leader, and man, he makes a difference when he's out there.
He's tougher than a $2 steak, man.
Oh my gosh, he is tough, man.
He's tough.
He is a tough dude.